Esta metida en caso de John Davis, lavamento de placa, e mesa fia 3 milhões sem pagar back nunca mais por $400 com o suplente que não conecta por lo muy menos o el stink de corrupção.
On May 5th, 2013, gunshots shattered the peaceful afternoon at Marie Pamplona Beach in Curaçao. Helmin Wiels, the charismatic and controversial leader of the Pueblo Soberano party, lay dead, assassinated just one day before he planned to expose what he claimed was widespread corruption on the island. His death silenced one of Curaçao's most outspoken political voices and left a nation questioning who was truly behind the killing. This is the story of a man who challenged powerful interests, fought for independence, and paid the ultimate price for his convictions. A tale of political intrigue, organized crime, and a murder investigation that raised as many questions as it answered. Welcome back to PresidentOf, the channel where we explore true crime stories involving power, politics, and corruption. Curaçao, a small Caribbean island, became a Dutch colony in 1634. In 2010, it gained status as an autonomous country within the Kingdom of the Netherlands, maintaining Dutch control over defense and foreign affairs. This political arrangement became a focal point of Helmin Wiels' independence movement and may have contributed to the tensions that led to his assassination. Born on December 9, 1958, and raised in Curaçao, Helmin Wiels grew up in a lower-middle-class family in West Punt. He was raised in a politically conscious household and later studied social work, which led him to a career in politics. Wiels was a man of the people, charismatic, bold, and unafraid to speak his mind. Before entering politics, he worked as a social worker and was also a radio broadcaster. He was a voice for the voiceless, a champion of the working class. However, his outspoken nature and relentless pursuit of truth earned him powerful enemies. In 2005, Wiels founded the political party Pueblo Soberano, Sovereign People, which brought a revolutionary platform to Curaçao politics: full independence from the Netherlands, socialist economic reforms, strong anti-corruption stance. As its leader, Wiels became a vocal advocate for Curaçao's autonomy, criticizing the influence of organized crime in politics and foreign exploitation of the island's resources. Our island belongs to our people, not to corrupt officials and foreign interests. His vision was for a self-reliant and economically strong Curaçao, free from external control. Wiels was known for his fearless approach. Unlike most politicians, he didn't shy away from naming individuals and companies he believed were involved in corruption. On his radio show, he presented evidence, documents, and testimonies, turning it into both a political platform and a public investigation. Listeners often called in with tips, making the show a unique tool for exposing wrongdoing. He frequently targeted industries like the lottery, offshore banking, and government contracts, accusing them of exploiting Curaçao. By 2010, Pueblo Soberano had become a major political force. As the Netherlands Antilles dissolved and Curaçao gained autonomous status within the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Wiels and his party secured a significant role in the new parliament. However, his outspoken nature and radical ideas made him many enemies. In the months before his assassination, Wiels openly discussed receiving death threats, but refused personal security, insisting he wouldn't be intimidated. "They can threaten me all they want. I will not be silenced. The truth must come out." His fearlessness, while inspiring to supporters, ultimately made him a target. On Friday, May 3, 2013, Wiels made what would become his final radio broadcast.
E punto da simple. O pieno de nervioso, o ta swata tambe. So, nós temos como se você o tsam guarda, mito guarda. Do que sali, ta sali um co ma pior de bejeg, man. Mi tinha aqui dan? Mi tin 5 copie de jeg, man, tin 50 que tinha. Que man, si mayan just que binotei, tin 50 mais pa sali.
Monday, I will bring everything to light. The documents don't lie. The people deserve to know who is stealing from them and how. Wiels had reportedly been investigating corruption related to the lottery industry and Curaçao money laundering operations, possible connections between criminal organizations and government officials. According to close associates, Wiels was both excited and nervous about his planned revelation. He was excited but also nervous.
Usa el modelo COIS, señor presidente. COIS aloga un permiso ilegal de menos tiempo usa para resucitar.
He knew what he had was explosive. There were names in those documents that would shock people, powerful people with connections, both legal and illegal. On Sunday, May 5th, 2013, around 5 p.m., Wiels allegedly had an appointment with a colleague named Helmin Wiels. He sat waiting on the beach at Marie Pampoen in Curaçao. But Wiels never showed up. What Wiels didn't know is that death was approaching. According to witnesses, a car approached and a gunman exited the vehicle and shot Wiels multiple times at close range. Reports indicate he was shot 5 or 6 times with fatal wounds to his head and body. The killing occurred in broad daylight with witnesses present, indicating the boldness of the perpetrators. Wiels was pronounced dead at the scene. Wiels' murder was not just a loss for his family and supporters, it was a blow to the entire nation. The man who had fought so fiercely for justice had become a victim of the very corruption he sought to eradicate. In the immediate aftermath of Wiels' assassination, the Curaçao police force codenamed the investigation Magnus, dedicating significant resources to uncover both the direct perpetrators and those who may have ordered the killing. Investigators determined that the killers used a rental car from a local agency in Willemstad for the assassination, leaving behind a paper trail that helped authorities track them down. After the murder, the perpetrators abandoned the vehicle at another location on the island. The investigation was far from easy, but law enforcement acted quickly. Within weeks, several key suspects were identified. Elvis Cuas, alias Monster, was arrested in May 2013 at Hato Airport upon returning from the Netherlands just weeks after the assassination. Cuas was identified as the suspected gunman. D'Angelo Damascus and Bernie Nini Fonseca were both arrested later in 2013 as suspected accomplices in carrying out the murder. Carlos Carco Peter was also implicated in the plot. Despite the progress in identifying the direct perpetrators, investigators faced significant challenges in uncovering the full picture. One particularly perplexing element was Helmin Wiels' scheduled meeting with Wiels on the day of the assassination. Investigators questioned Wiels about his absence from the beach, but his explanations and potential connection to the case remained unclear. This seemingly coincidental missed meeting would become one of the enduring mysteries of the case. But the case took a dramatic turn when key witnesses began turning up dead. Raul Bole Martinez, named as the driver of the white Kia Picanto used in the murder, was killed. His abandoned blood-covered car was found in Lebu, but Bole was missing. Days later, 2 tourists discovered his headless body in a rocky area of San Pedro. Investigators believe Bole was eliminated to prevent him from testifying. Luigi Florentina, alias Pretu, another suspected middleman, was found dead in his cell in Barber Police Station in Curaçao on September 5, 2013, after being extradited from St. Martin. With the direct perpetrators identified, the investigation continued to focus on finding those who ordered the hit. This phase was codenamed Maximus. After an intense investigation, authorities arrested former Finance Minister of Curaçao, George Jamaluddin, in 2017 and extradited him from Venezuela in 2018. He was arrested as a suspect in ordering Fonseca to find someone to kill Wiels. His brother Robbie dos Santos was arrested on November 18, 2019 at his residence in San Martin in connection with the Maximus investigation into the assassination of Curaçaoan politician Helmin Wiels. Following his arrest, Dos Santos was transferred to Curaçao for further questioning. He was also arrested as a suspect in ordering Fonseca to find someone to kill Wiels. The trial of Helmin Wiels' killers was one of the most high-profile cases in Curaçao's history. The courtroom was packed, and the nation watched closely as justice was served. The court proceedings began in 2015 and lasted for several months. Prosecutors meticulously laid out their case of how the assassination was planned and executed. According to prosecutors, Elvis Cuas, D'Angelo Damascus, and Carlos Peters planned and carried out the murder under orders from Bernie Fonseca and Luigi Florentina. They used a rented Kia Picanto with swap license plates, waiting for the right moment before opening fire on Wiels. The most important evidence in the criminal case included statements by partially anonymous witnesses and text messaging between the conspirators. From January 2013, there was regular text contact between Jamaluddin and Nini Fonseca in Papiamento and in code language. On April 30th, 2013, just days before the murder, Fonseca sent the following message. "Brother, when can I see you so I can start working? Brother, I already have my uniform." A day before the murder, Jamaluddin invited Fonseca to his home, texting, "When can you come by so I can tell you?" The reported payment for Helmin Wiels' assassination was approximately 100,000 Antillean guilders, around $56,000. According to court documents, this money was allegedly provided by George Jamaluddin and Robbie dos Santos, channeled through intermediaries who then distributed it to the executors. After nearly 2 years of trial, Elvis Monster Cuevas was sentenced to life in prison for the assassination. Carlos Carco Peter received a 5-year sentence for providing logistical support in the murder. His lighter sentence, compared to the others, suggests he played a supporting role rather than being directly involved in the killing. Bernie Nini Fonseca received 26 years in prison as one of the alleged masterminds. This severe sentence indicates the court found him to be a primary organizer or coordinator of the murder. D'Angelo Damascus received 20 years, suggesting he had a major role in the murder, though perhaps not as central as Fonseca's role. Robbie dos Santos. After a few months of being detained, dos Santos was set free on December 20th, 2019, when the judge didn't find any evidence against him. Then, in 2021, George Jamaluddin received a 28-year prison sentence for his role in orchestrating the murder. Today, Cuevas is serving his life sentence in the Netherlands, while Fonseca, Damascus, and Jamaluddin remain imprisoned in Curaçao. Carlos Peter has been released after completing his 5-year sentence. The case exposed deep ties between organized crime and politics, leaving a lasting impact on the island. Wiels' assassination sent shockwaves through Curaçao's political system. His death led to mass demonstrations demanding justice, increased scrutiny of corruption on the island, and continued calls for independence from the Netherlands among his supporters. Helmin Wiels gave 5 people the documents, but it never came out why they didn't release them. Were they paid to keep them from the public? Did Elmer Wilso share Helmin Wiels' location with the killer's Shirjurjurn orchestrators? How did they find out he was at the beach that day? Why didn't Wilso show up at the beach that day? There are a lot more questions the public has without answers. His party, Pueblo Soberano, continued to be a political force, but was changed by the loss of its charismatic leader. Today, Helmin Wiels is remembered as a martyr for anti-corruption efforts in Curaçao. A monument has been erected in his honor, and annual memorials mark the anniversary of his death. This tragedy highlights the ongoing challenges of corruption and organized crime in the Caribbean region and the dangers faced by those who take strong stands against such forces. His death may have left a void, but his legacy and the fight for justice live on. Was Wiels a hero who was silenced for speaking the truth? Or was he simply a victim of the dark forces that lurk within politics? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime stories about politicians from around the world. Chi cui lucha